Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
It's Saturday night, and where else would you want to be than right here? You want a tight championship points race? We got it! As a slim 2 marker separates Pardon and Thanks Joshua Banks from multi-time champ J.R. Shepherd. You say you want a rule package that is a petri dish for drama? Shakespeare and Voltaire would be hard-pressed to come up with a plot line better than regridding the top 2 protagonists, 11th and 12th. You say you want full viewership immersion by enjoying snack food indigenous to tonight's virtual venue? Here you go. Tear open a bag of Chesapeake Crab Route 11 potato chips, pop open a bottle of Black Cherry Bliss known as Cheer Wine, put your feet up in the recliner and enjoy the simulated short track racing that will be streaming your way. Sanctioned by the Bootleg Racing League and sponsored by the Cruise Shop, it's the Outlaw Modified Series Round 9 from Langley Speedway. And you can see all the simulated SK modified action from green flag to victory donuts live as it happens here on the Global SimRacing Channel. From Old Dominion, hello and welcome to another GSRC broadcast. Soup and Crackers. John Crackers Ambrose, along with yours truly, Bill Soups On, bringing you our Word's Eye view. Joe Peak has director duties, armed with cameras, locked and loaded by Dougie Beard. Okay, Sean, it's been strongly suggested to me by the Grand Poobahs at GSRC that I not mention the dark secrets that I know about this racetrack. So, for my physical safety and job security, I'm going to turn it over to you to give some safe and sanitized track info.
There was that story about Orville and
Oh.
Louisville, right? Well, okay, maybe we shouldn't go there. Okay, well, some secrets
It's
are just
ugly.
better left secrets, aren't they? Yeah, it is. All right, listen, Sue. Hampton, Virginia. Everybody's here tonight. Well, not quite everybody. It's been a long day. The iRacing 12 hours of Sebring's been going on. It looks like the field's been affected by that this evening. But listen, we got to tell you a little bit about the track. So let's get it in here. 0.395 miles. What does that make that? Well, it makes it probably the shortest. I've got to fact check this. But the shortest track we run in the series all season. Only 6 degrees in the turns. Practically nothing. It's really flat. Now, what you do have is a surface that's a little bit wide. You could do some racing on. And like we continue to talk about from race to race to race, okay, the car's changed a little bit over the past 6 months or so, going back into last year. So we've seen some racing from the outside. The problem is that the turns get very, very narrow on entry here. Soup could make passing difficult. But the best way to get an idea what it's like to drive around good old Langley Speedway, Soup, is to hop on board the GSRC SK Modified for a lap around.
Hi, this is James Carhula in the GSRC Modified, and I'm going to take you for a few laps around the Langley Speedway. This is a very flat track. Look for these drivers to be using that apron to help give them a little bit more grip to turn that car a little bit better through the corners. Overall, Langley is a track where you're going to see a lot of single file racing, not a lot of opportunity to use a second groove, as most drivers will be using the apron here at some point. Langley is a wide track, though, that's going to give you lots of opportunities if you do make a mistake to try and keep your car from taking home substantial damage. Keep your car rotating through the corners, hold your line, and you can find yourself in a good position here at the Langley Speedway.
Race fans, that was a really quick, fast lap here at Langley Speedway. And of course, that lap guide, as well as everything on this broadcast, sponsored by the Cruise Shop. The Cruise Shop, they've been in operation since 1986. You know, they're a team of highly experienced travel agents that have a huge passion for travel. They specialize in cruises, all-inclusive resorts, escorted tours, Disney vacations, family travel, group travel, weddings, and honeymoons. You know, they would really love the opportunity to help you plan your next vacation, so call them today, 260-755-6125. But, you know, I've been saying this for weeks, Sue. Who uses a phone anymore? Go to their website, thecruiseshopfw.com. That FW stands for Fort Wayne, Indiana. Folks, the Cruise Shop is dedicated to fulfilling their clients' dreams one destination at a time, Sue.
All right, well, let's fill in your dreams about the point standings. It's really a two-man race. It is, partner thanks, Joshua Banks ahead of J.R. Shepard by 2 points. Banks has 3 wins, Shepard has a pair. Now, Donnie Moore has been flirting with a win all season, but so far all she's given him is a wink and a smile. Not the case for Chris Massini, who did get a win a few rounds ago. He sits in 4th, but well out of the points chase. And then Kenny Kibbe, welcome to the overlay, coming in there 36 points back. Good to see him making the top 5. All right, with 2 races to go, let's go ahead and let Sean talk about the event details.
2 races to go, Soup. Boy, that says a lot about what we've got.
Well, this and 2 more. It's 9 and then 10, 11.
Yes, of course. Now, listen, round 9, welcome. 100 laps. It's always 100 laps. Except for week 4. Round 4 is going to be that alternate race we run every season. But the big thing here is Soup, you got to make these tires last for 100 laps, because they don't allow you to take tires here in the Bootleg Racing League. And if you do take them, well, you're in trouble. You don't want to get in trouble. Nobody wants to get in trouble with the boss. So, fixed setup. It is the iRacing fixed setup, and it's an awful good setup based on the time I'm seeing right now. Well, if you're not running about just over 14 and a half seconds, then, well, you haven't figured it out yet. So, listen, that iRacing setup, very important, because it does level the playing field. It comes all down to the driver tonight. Folks, the NASCAR lucky dog is in play. What does that mean? Well, if you get a lap down, you'll get a chance to get it back if there's a caution flag. there aren't any caution flags, which is very possible with a limited field tonight. You're going to have to earn it the hard way. So one fast repair. Well, what does that mean? Well, it means you get one spare car. You get a chance to pull it off the truck if you damage your car too much to continue without sitting in the pits there forever. And Soup, we are in grid. We are inverting the grid from last week's top 12, and right now I've only got 15 cars here practicing for this race tonight. And well, that could make the grid kind of interesting, actually. I think some guys are going to be in probably better spots than they had anticipated in.
I'll talk about a guy who's going to be in a better spot than he anticipated. How about right there, Robbie Robinson, scheduled to be on the pole tonight. We've seen Robbie start up front a few times. He usually puts in a pretty good run. You know, Sean, we've seen a lot of guys that we don't usually see up there be very impressive when they get an opportunity to race with some clean air.
Yeah, and Soup, we have, and you know, I think we've talked about this quite a bit, especially with the last couple of weeks. It's been a great season. We have seen a lot of these new drivers step up, come forward to the front, race up front, hold those spots up front, and by George, win a few races. Yeah, you know, it hasn't been until just, the last two races that J.R. Shepherd got on a bit of a hot streak. Prior to that, we'd had a multitude of winners. And, again, a lot of new faces up front of the field. And several of those new faces are here tonight, and that is good. Again, we could see a new winner tonight. We'll see. But the defending champ is here. J.R. Shepherd right now sitting third in practice. Doesn't mean a whole lot for him generally. We know how he rolls, Soup. He doesn't really care where he starts. It's all about where he finishes.
Well, he went from 10th place last time to get the win. You know, we talked about those drivers that do really good. We're looking at Don Butler there. That's a new one. Dan Butler, new to the series. Look at car number 45 out there doing some practice laps right now. This is Jason Menda. He got the honors of starting on the pole last round and was up there for a long time before he started to fall back through the field. So we'll see what Robbie Robinson can do today as he's put in that position. There's the 45, taking a little break.
Yeah, Menda has definitely looked good. You know, you talked about Dan Butler being a new driver. He is a New England driver running a number 22. And Butler definitely picked a good number. That's one of my favorites. There's Donnie Moore on screen. We got to see a little bit of him here a few nights ago on the Global SimRacing Channel for the SK Winter Nationals here that we had. It was unfortunately time not well spent. It wasn't long, Soup.
Sorry to hear that.
Donnie found big trouble early. Had to junk it.
I like it when we see drivers cross-pollinating over into other events from other series that we carry here on GSRC. There's that old familiar number 26. Smaller field tonight than we had last time. Boy, last round we had a big one. Not quite so big this time. Still a nice, healthy field.
Yeah, you know what? It's kind of funny. It's just exact polar opposite of last week. I think last week we had a record number, and this week this may be a season low with only 15 cars right now. And Soup, I don't know if you were looking at the practice times, but you see who's back at the top there. J.R. Shepherd finally figured out the fast way around this little 0.39 mile track. Soup, I was saying just before we went live, this one's hard on the left shoulder, buddy. You really don't get a chance to straighten the wheel out much on this modified as you're getting around this track.
Keeping that pulled down. That's why drivers with who are married with heavy wedding rings always do better, because the weight of that ring helps that hand stay down.
Yeah, and
this is a married man track. That's what my dad used to say.
You know what? No, I'm not going to say it. I'm sorry. It's probably not a totally politically correct reference that I should make.
You can segue into the honeymoons and weddings that you can have on the cruise shop.
Well, yeah, certainly book your honeymoon
Cuba,
now
baby.
with the cruise shop. Yeah,
Cuba.
You go to.
It's some rum, man.
John Hine sharing with us in the pre-race that I want to say courtesy of, but certainly I'm sure he purchased it going on a cruise to Cuba, courtesy of the cruise shop, fw.com.
Well, that sounds good. You want to get there before everybody else, and they start bringing in the modern automobiles. There's the number 21. Disneyland Cuba from our director. Yeah, exactly.
I'm in. I'll check that out.
Go on the Bay of Pigs ride.
Oh,
jeez.
All right, you went there. Now we're getting ready to start international incidents here again on the Global SimRacing Channel. It's practice. Only got about a minute left. Actually, Soup, I am a little curious, based on who's here. I am a little curious to see how our lineup shakes out this evening. You know, again, we're going to have some guys a little bit out of position here. Probably weren't expecting that, and it's going to be a great start. You know, the fast time right now, it belongs to J.R. Shepard as we come out of practice with a 14.562.
Yeah, well, I talked about Shepard and Banks being re-good to 11 and 12th, but that depends on nobody being truant. Everybody showing up here and coming. So I imagine with only 16 here, some of those drivers were scheduled to grid ahead of Banks and more. So we'll see how that plays out. I don't think it matters to them. We've seen them come from 10th. We saw Banks come from 12th to get a win earlier this season. So
we did.
They managed to get up there.
Well, the whole field here in practice right now separated by just merely 0.3 of a second. So pretty impressive here with the time, Soup. It's going to be a fast race here. It's funny, the super late model race just a little while ago, I was a little late getting there, and I was so late getting there that it was over. I couldn't find it. I thought something's wrong with the Bootleg Racing League this evening. No, it was just a really quick race. So, folks,
oh my, look at that!
Hold on to your
sky.
seats. Yeah, look at that. Isn't it gorgeous? Hold on to your seats, folks, because we got a great one on tap for you here this evening from Langley Speedway.
Robbie Robinson is going to be on the pole. Sean will take it a row at a time inside of Matt Shanowski.
All right, you got it, buddy. And then it's James Lowe at number 99. He's going to start third in his SK Modified right next to Chris Wolfson in the number 7.
We saw what Jason Mendez could do from the pole last round. Let's see what we can do from 5th position. He's going to be flanked by Ruben Altice.
All right, row 4. Our good friend Kenny Kibbe, the number 14. He'll start there in 7th. Right next to our other good buddy, Donnie Moore, in a number 26 SK Modified, starting 8th.
Okay, they were scheduled for 11th and 12th. They get 9th and 10th, so they didn't get a lot of ground in the grid here. And we're not talking about Joshua Banks and J.R. Shepard as they fill up row number 5.
All right, and starting 11th tonight, it's going to be in that number 22, one of my dad's old numbers there, Dan Butler. John Hine and his number 21 SK Modified starts 12th, Sue.
It's the number 59, Mike Allen in the Baker's Dozen spot. Answering the bell in 14th is Todd Liston.
And the 8th and final row of this field tonight, the boss, Lowell Jules, starting 15th in his familiar number 3. Justin Allen in the number 10 will start 16th. Here we go.
And as always, we like to do a Shanowski survey. So our poll says, number of Shanowskis today? 1. That would be Matt sitting up on the outside of row 1. All right, we got 100 laps in store. Round number 9 of 11. This one and then 2 more after this. We'll watch the racing up front, and we'll keep an eye on Banks and Shepard as they work their way through the field. Coming out of turn 4.
Oof.
Chug-a-luck, makes you want to holler, hi-de-ho! Robbie Robinson takes the field down to the first corner. He gets that number 66 load up, and he leads them. James Lowe in second. Mount Skanowski loses the spot, drops down into third. Jason Menda up the spot into fourth. Kenny Kibbe in the 14, hugging the apron, and he gets 5th place as they finish lap number 1.
I'm afraid old Ruben Altice back here, the cork in the bottle right now. Donnie Moore trying to get through up on the top side, but he's got nowhere to go. He's got Altice, Dan Butler right up in front of him. Oh, there's a familiar face, J.R. Shepard trying to make his way through.
Up front, they're pretty much single file. We see Joshua Banks. Oh, my goodness, Joshua Banks has already found his way up into 5th position as he gets underneath Kenny Kibbe. Shepard's coming. He's just taking a little longer. He's back in 9th right now. Now it looks like the whole field pretty much gets single file. A couple drivers out there on the high side. Ruben Altice stuck up top, and Todd Liston.
Shepard back here trying to find out the new driver, figure out the new driver, Dan Butler. And JR gets it in there, going into 1. He's got a wheel in, and he's got basically the whole car in. Now they get out of turn 2, down the back stretch, if you can call it stretch at all. through 3. He's looking to pick up 2. Chris Wilson runs up the track. J.R. Shepard up to 7.
Butler and then Wolfson on the same lap, and those guys are stuck up top. Mike Allen following Shepard right through.
Donnie Moore wheel to wheel back there with Chris Wolfson. That's going to end with Donnie getting by, and Chris really struggling here, Soup. He continues to drop through the field. 7 spots already.
Let's jump you up to 4th position. Joshua Banks. He gets another one on inside of James Lowe. Joshua, you got 100 laps, baby.
Yeah, well, we know he's fast. He's definitely picking him up and knocking him down. It's left a good battle behind him, though, between Kibbe and Lowe, and it looks like Kibbe just won that battle for the moment anyway.
Lowe drops into 6th position after starting on the inside of row 2. Up in front, though, it is still Robbie Robinson. He has led him for 10 laps now. That number 66. Looking smooth as blended whiskey, as it is Matt Shanowski chasing him. Shanowski already has a win this season. Oh, careful, Jason Menda. Boy!
You got to run. You got to run at him for
indeed.
sure. Boy, J.R. Shepard back there just hanging out, Sue. Really, really just hanging out. You know who's behind him? Several car lengths. Donnie Moore, but closing right now because J.R. is just kind of hanging out. He's not really pressing the issue.
Well, here's somebody who is pressing the issue, number 36. Can we take a look at him? This is Joshua Banks. He gets underneath Jason Menda. Menda was looking really frisky in 3rd position on the gearbox of Matt Shanowski, but that ends now as Banks gets that position.
Yep, I'm starting to figure out why I missed that super late model race.
And quick lap times and everybody doing a good job of keeping it going straight.
Yeah, and spreading out. And spreading out. Oh, JR. Oh, he got back. He got in the back of Lowe there. Had to correct the car. He had to crack the throttle. Almost lost it, man. Menda had a windshield
Sure
for
did.
that.
All right, Jay says everything was going great. I was in 3rd place. All of a sudden, now I'm in 7th, and I got J.R. Shepard sideways in front of me. I don't know how long Matt Shanowski is going to really wait here behind Robbie Robinson. He's got Joshua Banks behind him, and Banks is not going to wait. So look for the 00. Oh, we got a caution. Allen goes around with a little help from John Hine in the 21.
Yeah, you know, boy, I'm looking at it. I wonder if, I think John just got in a little hot there. Hine was a little hot, and Allen was just a little too close, and just incidental contact more than anything, Soup.
Yeah.
Look at it here.
In Hines' defense, he's got the left side all the way down on the yellow line, so it's not like he drifts up into him. I mean, he's pretty low here.
That's kind of where I was going with that. You see, like I said, it's just really kind of incidental contact. He's not really drifting up the track. He's really doing a decent job of holding his line.
Yeah.
Does a great job of avoiding getting himself in trouble there, but it does end up with the 59 turned around, but safe. That car not really showing any real damage on it at the moment.
Well, Sean, it's a yellow flag. That means pit stops and tires, right?
No,
Oh.
it doesn't, Soup.
Oh.
Yeah, no, we don't get any tires.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah, no, as we said in the details, there'll be no tires allowed, and I think Mike Allen's going to keep his car on track. Again, he didn't pick up any damage, so no real reason to go get that spare car off the hauler. It's a long trip, Soup. The haulers, I don't know if you noticed, they're located outside the track surface here.
No room for him in here.
Not a lot of room here.
Okay.
Yeah, not a lot of room here in the infield at Langley Speedway. I'll tell you what they do have a lot of room for, advertising space. Look at that wall of advertising down the backstretch there. Soup, everybody here represented real well. Rolls-Royce even represented back there. There's a Rolls-Royce billboard just outside of turn 3.
You know what would be a nice feature for iRacing put in one of these bills? Allow the user, allow GSRC to go ahead and put one of our sponsors up. Wouldn't it be nice to see the cruise shop up there on one of those billboards during the race?
I couldn't agree more. We used to be able to do that in NASCAR Heat, and I think even in R2K3 back in the day. But yeah, I love the ads here at Langley. It's just that really good local short track feel, and they really encapsulated it well here on the iRacing service.
They packed them all in there, didn't they? There's not a lot of room to squeeze one more in. They put one more ad in there. They all might fly off. Okay, they're lined up 2 by 2. Robinson in the one spot. Gets a good jump. Ha ha! Matt Shanoski stuck in the 0-0. He's in trouble. Poor Matt Shanoski. He was worried about this, and sure enough, Joshua Banks had the odd number. He gets it. Look at Banks with momentum off of 2, having visions of getting on Robinson right now. Here comes Kenny Kibbe following Banks through.
You know who's really on a charge in that start? It's Donnie Moore. He about took the chrome horn right off of Jason Mendes' car, dropped down to the bottom, and now he's picked up 3 spots as he's trying to get his way by Matt Shanoski, and he does it.
Oh, Matt Shanoski locked outside, pounding on the door, yelling Wilma. I hope somebody gets that reference because I really like it.
Yeah.
And there is Jason Mendes.
I think Donnie's driving on the chip tonight, to be honest with you. Maybe he's not very happy about the way things turned out the other night here on GSRC, and he's here to make a statement.
We're looking at the leader up front there, boy. Banks on the back of Robinson. We saw this before from Mendes, how well those guys do. He's a quarter of the way there. He'll be working lap number 25 in a minute. All right, now Josh. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Joshua Banks giving him a little kiss there with the chrome horn.
Well, look, he didn't pick up the nickname Pardon and Thanks for nothing. He has a kind of reputation of excuse me and thank you very much here. So don't be surprised if he maybe suggests a different racing line for Robbie Robinson.
I like how you put that suggest.
Yeah.
He keeps presenting that suggestion.
He does.
I'm starting to get a feeling that it's going to become more than a suggestion at some point here, Sue. Donnie Moore. Another suggestion being given is by Donnie Moore to Lowe. He is just really riding him almost up the track in points. Donnie clipping down to the bottom there. Took a look.
After that restart, Shanoski back in 7th. He cannot afford to lose many points to Banks right now, who is on the back of Robinson. Danger, Robbie Robinson, danger. Got Joshua Banks right behind him. Kibbe doing a good job of the 40. Oh, go ahead.
JR making the break on Mendes there. He's trying to take the position. And he's clear. So that puts JR now up to 6th.
All right, Banks got there. He got a nose in, and I think he's going to be able to do it. Boy, Robinson tried his very best to keep that front door closed, but Joshua put his foot in instead. He got him.
Robbie's about to lose 2. Watch out, here comes Lowe.
Oh, he's going to be freight trained now. The 26. There goes the Irwin machine of Donnie Moore getting underneath, and it brings in the old number 98.
And Kenny Kibbe back there just totally got slowed down. He had to jam on the pedal to avoid running over our former leader, Robbie Robinson, who now finds himself all the way back in 6th, Sue. Just like that.
Right.
In a matter of 3 laps. 3 laps.
Pole sitter has fallen to 6th. The man on the outside, Matt Shanoski, he's gone down into 8th position. But how about James Lowe? Started on the inside of row 2, hanging in there. A nice job from the 99. But I tell you, it was Robinson who was holding up the train right now. Now that Banks is out there with nothing in front of him but some blue sky, starting to pick him up and put him down.
Well, fast indeed. We're a third of the way past this race, quickly approaching the halfway point. Not much happening. It's a lot of follow the leader right now, but sometimes when you get a really short track like this where it's all about getting in and getting off the turns, it's kind of hard. You really got to work on that pass, and you got to hope for a little bit of a mistake from your opponent there, the guy you're trying to get around. Kenny Kibbe working awful hard to get around Robbie Robinson back here, and what it has caused is Kibbe to overdrive a little bit, opening up trouble or opportunity for Matt Shanoski. Not seeing Shanoski get a lot done at the moment, Soup. Kind of strange out of him, actually.
Robinson pretty good at keeping that tight inside line. He made one mistake and cost the position to Banks, and that cost him several positions. But now he's locked back into 6, and Kibby's going to have to work hard. Let's take this opportunity to jump in and talk about the transfer spot. That's the boss, Lowell Jewell. He looks to be pretty comfortable, 1.2 seconds ahead of Justin Allen, who's in the Baker's dozen position. Oh, my Mendes had some issues.
Yeah, well, Menda actually he got into the. You're going to see this on the replay. Got in the back of Matt Shanoski, and then he got drilled from behind there by the 11.
Well, actually, and you know,
LT said nowhere to go.
It starts with, I think, Matt Janowski getting into the back of Kenny Kibbe. I think was just kind of a concertina, I guess, here in short track racing. It'd be the accordion effect.
Oh, you know what? I didn't catch that part of it, Suk. I caught it a little late. You're absolutely right. Matt seems to be struggling with connection a little bit too here at the moment. That certainly didn't help, but...
So we stay under green. Let's check in on second position. Or I guess it would be, well, yeah, this is fun. James Lowe, Donnie Moore, and J.R. Shepard. They've had just about enough of James Lowe.
Oh, there goes JR. Donnie left it a little too open, and JR and Shepard said, "Thank you very much. Give me third place." Oh, Donnie, taking the chrome horn back to him.
Or saying, "Come on, I was working on him. I would have had him the next lap." JR has got no time to wait.
He's got no time to wait for Donnie Moore. That's for sure.
That's right. Yeah.
Donnie will whoop him, given the chance.
I hope James Lowe has taken notes, because the 98's coming, and the 98, once he gets around you, he's got some work to do to get up to his rival. How about the driving here, Sean? Joshua Banks and J.R. Shepard, clearly the fastest cars out here. Nevertheless, they managed to work their way through the field without causing a problem. Well done.
Yeah, well,
that's not necessarily needs to be the case here. Good job.
I mean, let's face it, Banks was the wild stallion in the field this evening. He is just run up through the field and really just put on a great show here at Langley this evening. His SK just seems to be a little bit more hooked up than everybody else, and like we talked about in the details of this race, it is the iRacing fixed setup. So what does that mean? That means Josh maybe put a little time in, practiced a bit, and really has figured out what we like to call the special line here around Langley Speedway.
Let's go to fifth position. This is Robinson getting a move. Kibbe gets the move. That's John Hine stuck up top. He's really hung out to dry. Shadowski comes through as well. Hine lost 3 spots in the blink of an eye.
Well, we sure haven't seen an outside groove here tonight, have we, Sue? But unlike a lot of other tracks that we've been at, track temperature not really hot. It's only about 87 degrees on the track at the moment. Just not a lot of fight up there. Once you get up there, it seems like everybody that's been in that spot has found their way back in the field.
Yeah, the only reason you're on the outside line is 3 reasons. You're there on the restart, you made a mistake, or somebody has suggested that's the racing line you need. Here comes Shepard. He's going to get a drive. He's going to get this pass made easily on James Lowe. You know, James, I think, said, okay, don't buy me. If I fight you, I'm going to end up losing a spot to Donnie Moore as well. I think he just said, you go by and I'll deal with Moore.
Okay. If that's your strategy, good luck with.
Well, if he holds on, then Moore gets on the back of Shepard, and then he's really in trouble. 1 second now separating the leader and his biggest rival, J.R. Shepard. Let's see if he can close it in. We're past the halfway mark. 1 yellow.
Yeah, it's kind of like we kind of suspected in the pre-race suit. A smaller field, a really short track, and well, some pretty darn good drivers. It really resulted in a great race so far, but not a lot of movement once they get the run going, and that's kind of what we're seeing now. Can J.R. Shepard go cash Joshua Banks, or is he going to need a caution flag to help him out a little bit? Again, Joshua Banks just seems to have it all tonight. J.R. Shepard is in the mirror now, and he hasn't had that until now.
Corrector found that good battle there with Kenny Kibbe. That's our pole sitter racing in 5th. Kibbe back there in that fluorescent blue number 14. And then the familiar number 00 of Matt Shanowski. Don't need to go there, but I can just report that in 12th position, Mike Allen sits there. He was able to vulture a spot when Jason Menda had trouble.
Yeah, speaking of Menda, I got to be honest. I think they're going to catch Jason here pretty soon. Oh, and Joshua Banks gets the wall coming out of 2, Soup. This opens the door for J.R. Shepard. Boy, he closed him quick there.
Remember when Shepard got around low, I gave you the time. It was 1 second. Well, now it's not even a matter of seconds. It's his car lanes here. Yeah, he's there now.
One mistake.
So how's the 36 feeling after that? These are pretty rugged cars, right, Sean? You kind of either hurt them or you don't. That's been my philosophy. If you
you can
bang them, then you bang them.
Yeah, you can wrap them a few times. Now you can't just keep going back to the well. But Soup, like I said, a few times, as long as you're not literally knocking the wall down, you'll get away with it. But it's the toe and knocking the toe out on that right front. Once you've done it, there's really no coming back from it, and it pushes like a dump truck, and you really you're fighting an ill-handling machine. Right now, looks like Banks, okay, he survived that as JR still hadn't them figured out.
We've got ourselves a good battle up front. And you know what? My spidey senses says unless JR had to use up a lot of stuff to do this, I think that car looks a little faster right now than Banks. 35 corners to go. So that's a 35 laps, 140 corners for Joshua Banks to hold up J.R. Shepard. Ooh, that's tough.
Just did a very complicated math equation there, Soup, on the air on GSRC. That was pretty good, man.
Yes.
I shook my head. I was like, wow, that was quick.
Well, there's only 60 cars racing. They're all on the lead lap. That helps me a little bit, kid.
Okay. And here I was. I thought they were going to catch Menda now. It's starting to look like, maybe not so much. To Menda's credit, he's still running really good time. He's still running 15.2s at the moment.
Yep.
I mean, that's actually not the slowest times we're seeing at the moment. We've got a couple other drivers struggling because of a little trouble themselves. Top Liston being one of them. Chris Wolfson, of course. Honestly, he's had trouble from the get-go. Just really backed up through the field and finds himself stuck down there in P14 right now.
This is going to be interesting. This is Liston and Menda in a battle, and it won't be long until Banks and Shepard gets there. But I'm with you. Banks and Shepard took it a little longer to get there than I thought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in fact, I talked about Menda. Liston was struggling a bit. Menda's passing Liston right now. In fact, he got it done, and so moved Menda up to P15.
Oh, look at Shepard. Look, peeking left, peeking right. Working both sides of the street like a jaywalking mailman. One of these days, I'm going to use the real profession that my dad actually used on that saying. It wasn't a mailman. It'll be my last week here at GSRC when I do it. Use your imagination.
JR, right now, Soup, there's nothing on the outside line for JR Shepard. If he's going to pass him, it's going to have to be from the inside. And, boy, Joshua Banks just not willing to leave that door open for him at all. I guess I'm basically saying I think he's going to have to wreck him.
Give him a little...
Yeah.
A little encouragement, maybe.
I think it's going to need to be more than a little.
Boy, he gets a good run off it, too. The car's clearly faster. All right, now, as we talked about before, Menda got around Liston, so Liston's back there. He'll do a good job of getting out of the way. Todd knows how to play the game.
Well, I'll tell you what. This is interesting because, I said just a few laps ago, I didn't know if they were going to catch the tail end of the field, and that now they obviously are. Liston's got a really important decision to make because any adjustment they've got to make in their line to get around him is too much, and it's happening. Oh, no. Yeah, Liston did not run up the track probably as quick as he should have there, Soup.
Yeah, in defense of a guy in that position, that's a racing line that you just don't practice a lot, and it's actually, you get a little nervous. Trust me, I've been in that situation. You're racing up there and say, okay, I guess I should have practiced this line more. I don't want I don't want to bounce it off the wall in front of you guys. So give the benefit of the doubt sometimes of those back markers.
Minda is up there recovering. I'll tell you what, he's just picking up another spot. He's trying to get around Justin Allen, and he does it. Minda's up to P14.
Only 2 spots away from transferring. Yes. Remember, they have a spare car, so even though he was in the wall, he's driving something good.
He's running out of time, though, Soup. I believe this is, well, not yet. He's coming around, and, well, Soup, it probably is disco ball time. Let's drop it. Let's do it. We got 20 laps to go here, baby, at Langley Speedway. Bring it down out of the ceiling. Everybody on the floor. It's an all skate. Let's boogie, baby. Let's get this party started.
And as we start to dance, let's all do it politely and keep it green. Let's see if we can finish this thing under green the way that we started it. All right, let's watch the leaders. They come up on behind Justin Allen. Allen racing in 15th, last car on the lead lap, car number 10. When will Justin take it up top? Well, he's not going to do it now. He does it right there. He lets him go by. Nicely done.
Ole.
Yeah, that's right. They come across with 17 to go.
You know, if those two get turned around, James Lowe is really sitting pretty here at the moment. He's given himself quite enough distance behind these two to have enough time to react to something. You know what I mean?
Love that camera shot there by Joe Peak. Nicely done. That old number 98, the quick lane on it. Looking for the quick lane right now. The quick lane is the low side. He's taken some wide entries in, trying to get a good drive off. He might need to force the issue.
Soup, Tripp is watching. He wanted to know if we could do a Tripp and Dree's back marker.
Back marker shout out.
He got it. I gave it to him. There you go.
Okay. We will check in, though, on the driver in 12th. That is Mike Allen. Chris Wolfson in 13th. Wolfson better be careful in 13th because it won't be long till Shepard gets there. You know that.
Oh, Kibby and Robinson. Oh, no. Oh, Kibby was racing Robinson for position, and they locked up wheels. Oh, no. Right in the middle of the backstretch. Keep calling it a backstretch. It's really not a backstretch.
All right, now they pay me to have an opinion here. It looks like Kibby kind of drifted up into him. I thought.
I'm kind of with you there.
I thought that Robinson just having a nice straight line. He didn't ever get a view of it this way.
I don't think he knows he was as close as he was, to be honest with you.
Okay.
When that happens, I don't ever really think that's intentional.
From that angle, maybe he came down on it.
The sight lines in this car, to be frank, are horrible. So, and that's in real life too. Having actually sat in one before, or kind of sat in one.
Sounds like you were at the Tony Stewart trial.
No, you went there.
Oh, Jesus.
Tony's a friend of the network, man. Come on, easy.
Okay. All right. Well, this might be the opportunity that J.R. Shepard wanted. He'll have to do it from the outside, but at least he'll be side by side with Joshua Banks. Banks notoriously good at restarts. Yeah. Lowe will be in third position. How about James Lowe? Started in third, hung in third. The guys he started with are long gone, but he's done a great job.
He really has. James had a great run. I was talking about him just before that incident broke out and how he was really set up to do something special here if those two up front got it tangled up, and they still could. I mean, this is going to be about a 7-lap shootout, Soup, and it's a shootout. 7 may sound like a lot of laps, but obviously, as we figured out this evening, it doesn't take long to knock out 7 laps here. So let's see. The lights are going to stay on the pace car, and that shootout is going to get even shorter.
Sean, why don't you use your fancy timing and scoring system there and scroll down? Look who's in 12th position.
Yeah, it's Menda, and I know, you know, that caution flag actually really helped him because they were closing. They were going to try and put him a lap down, and he gets that caution. Now he finds himself sitting up here in the transfer spot for next week, and boy, things are not so bad now for Jason Menda.
No, we've seen what he can do from the pole, so he'll be comfortable up there. All right, they are double filing up. He's got 3 wins so far this season. He leads by 2 points in the standings. It is Joshua Banks. To his outside, car number 98. He's got 2 wins this season and more championships than I can count. J.R. Shepard outside of row 1. The guy who has been steady all race long. No, it's Donnie Moore in 3rd, as Lowe has been positioned up there in 4th. Pace car is in. J.R. He gets a jump, but he has to hold up. He could not go as Banks was sandbagging. And that's going to cost Shepard a position, as it is James Lowe from 4th position going to get down in there.
Soup, it's a scramble at the back of the field. Everybody jockeying right now as you get back to about 8th back. But the battle's certainly up front.
Oh, the best thing that could have happened to Joshua Banks is James Lowe. Let me correct myself. He was in 3rd. He was on the inside of that row 2. And when Shepard tried to jump the start, he had to wait up. He had to check up, and that opened the door for Lowe to get underneath. That's really important because at championship points, he cannot afford to give up those points to Lowe. He needs that position.
Don't open the door, James.
Oh, I don't care if he opens the door or not.
Oh, he did.
He comes out. There comes Shepard underneath. It might take too much to get this pass made to get up to Banks, but nevertheless, when it comes to the championship, Lowe's going to get caught up. Donnie Moore gets underneath him.
They made contact.
They're coming around. He's got 3 wins already. He's looking to pick up his 4th. He gets the white flag. He works through corner number 1 and 2. Nothing but a Godzilla invasion is going to keep Joshua Banks from winning his 4th race. Round number 9 goes to Joshua Banks. Shepard takes 2nd.
And Donnie Moore and that Irwin Tools ASPCA SK Modified finished 3rd. That means we get to talk Donnie tonight. Matt Shanowski brings it home in 4th, and James Lowe, boy, he was battling up there. Soup, he had a podium in his hands. He winds up 5th.
Jason Menda did what he needed to do. He gets that 12th position in the Baker's dozen spot. Justin Allen, he'll be starting outside of the top 12 next round. The racing is over here at Langley, but our broadcast is far from done. We'll take a short break. We'll come back to run down the entire finishing order, talk to some of the drivers before we put a lock on the gate. Back in a few. Look at those donuts. Sanctioned by the Bootleg Racing League and sponsored by the Cruise Shop. This is GSRC's coverage of the Outlaw Modified Series, Round 9 from Langley Speedway. The final results are in. Let's give those to you now. He went from 9th position to the win. That is Joshua Banks picking up his 4th of the season. Following him through the field was J.R. Shepard. He comes home in 2nd, loses a few points in the standings to his biggest rival. Banks is 1st in points. Shepard is 2nd in points. Who's 3rd in points? Donnie Moore. Who's 3rd for the race today? Donnie Moore, as he comes from 8th position to get the final podium spot if there were podiums in short track racing. Matt Janowski is in 4th, rounding out your top 5, which is more appropriate for U.S. ovals. James Lowe. Then you had Dan Butler, his first race. Didn't see much of him, and that's good. He had a nice, quiet little race. He comes home in 6th. Ruben Altice in 7th. The Boss in 8th position ahead of Mike Allen. And John Hine rounds out your top 10. Crackers?
All right, Soup, I got the rest here for you, buddy. It's going to be Chris Wolfson in the number 7 SK Modified. He's going to finish 11th. Jason Menda, well, his effort on track paid off. He's going to start at the pole next week. He finishes 12th. Justin Allen, the number 10, he will finish 13th. Todd Liston, boy, we didn't hear anything from Todd tonight except for when he had to get out of the way. 14th for him. Robbie Robinson, tough night for Robbie. After starting on the pole, Soup, he's going to finish 15th. Kenny Kibbe, going to be the last car in the field tonight, going to finish several laps down, unfortunately. Old number 14, 16th here at Langley Speedway. And Soup, I thought maybe we had a chance. No, you do have the winner, Joshua Banks.
4th win of the season for Pardon and Thanks, Joshua Banks. But boy, he had to earn it today. Joshua, from 9th position, you made some good time early.
Yeah, we had to go. I knew JR wasn't going to hold back either, so we had to go. Oh, man, but it was a good race overall. A lot of fun. Glad to be able to come out on top this time. And this championship's getting close, man. I'm telling you.
It is indeed. Every point is important, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. I want to go to that very final restart there. I don't know if you're able to get a view over your right front tire, but were you able to see that J.R. Shepard was ahead of you before you got your foot on the gas?
I actually didn't see that. I just thought to not jump it early, because if I did, he would have left the hole open for JR, maybe. And I didn't want to take that chance, so I timed it as late as I could. And it actually worked out pretty well there. He was able to come back and get second, but it was as y'all would say, too late by that point. So it was just a timing thing. But I actually did not see him there, so that's news to me.
Yeah. Now, correct me. Tell me if you think I'm wrong on this one. But I think the yellow flag actually helped you. I thought JR was faster than you there before that final yellow came out, and then he lost the position to James Lowe. But with about maybe 15 laps to go, he was right on your tail.
Oh, dude, he was hugging my rear end like crazy. I did not have the speed like he did, but he was definitely showing some speed, and I knew that if I held the bottom as long as I could keep the front until he got underneath me. And luckily, we had that caution to come out, and that's what really saved us our night right there.
Help me as a driver understand a little bit. As you're in front, let's say you are in front, and you got J.R. Shepard behind you. When do you know he has a nose underneath you? Is it the spotter? Can you hear it? Is it something you feel? How do you know when you're safe to come down?
It's more of a feel thing to me. I go by the spotter most of the time, but at this track specifically, since it being more of a turning track, more than a straight track, you got to feel it. And I feel it anyway when he's underneath. So it's a mixture of both, really. You got a feeling for it, and then you also got your spotter yelling at you, car low, and all that stuff. So that's pretty much it on that.
People who don't understand sim racing have got to be shaking their head. How can he feel it? They're not even in the same part of the globe, but you can do it. That's what the beauty of this sport. Hey, congratulations on the win. Good luck the rest.
I appreciate it, boss man. Thank you.
Joshua Banks picking up his 4th win of the season, and he stretches the gap to his nervous rival J.R. Shepard by just a little.
Man, how can you not love doing an interview with that guy, Soup?
I know.
Man, what an interview. Love talking to him. Let's talk to J.R. Shepard. JR, you can't win them all. Joshua Banks is sure trying. What about this guy? You couldn't find a way around there at the end.
Yeah, I didn't need that caution, Sean.
Yeah,
I was
speculated that kind of ruined your race, didn't it?
yeah, I was really trying to take it easy. You got caught on the outside on the first 2 restarts, so lost a lot of track position. And once I was there, I thought I need to kind of conserve a little bit. And I could see that he was struggling. And right when I started trying to run him pretty hard, caution came out. So that's the way it goes.
You know, JR, it's kind of funny. In the pre-race, we were talking about how, well, it's been a recurring theme, right? Since they changed the car back in season 3 of last year a bit, that, wow, we've seen a lot of passing on the outside. Certainly, you're always able to pass on the outside. Not so much here at Langley, huh?
No, the way this track's shaped, you can't keep your momentum up going in the corner, or you'll just shove up toward the wall. So, yeah, there's no way to really get to the outside of somebody unless they make a mistake.
Yeah, it seemed like Chris Wolfson maybe suffered with that more than anybody tonight, because he just dropped like a rock from the get-go, and once he got up top there, he was never able to recover from it. Not so much for you, though, and we were talking about it with Joshua, this points championship just going to be absolutely crazy this season here in the Bootleg Racing League.
Yeah, it is. It's tight, but just take one race at a time, and let's see what happens. You got to be fast and you got to be good, but you got to have luck on your side too. And it's just didn't work out tonight the way the restarts worked out. But we'll see about next week.
Hey, and one thing I just noticed on your car I haven't picked up until just now, and maybe it's because that ugly blue stripe is across it. But when did you put Glenn Wood on the car, buddy?
Yeah, I put it on there right after he had passed away. So I run the Wood Brothers paint scheme,
yep.
And I've had the privilege of being able to be in their race shop a couple of times and be able to talk with the Wood Brothers. So yeah, that was really really important for me to put that on there, because those guys have done a lot for the sport of racing and are true innovators in the sport. So yeah, that was a big loss, I thought, and felt like I needed to put that on the car.
Well, you just answered one of the biggest questions that most people have about you, is why is he so darn fast? Well, he was hanging out with the Wood Brothers, folks, and I bet they might have shared a secret or two. So good stuff, JR. Thanks for sharing that story with us, man, and really cool to see you running that there on the back of the car.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. Good broadcast tonight, guys.
All right, and a great race for JR Shepard Soup, and leaves.
That explains my pace. I've been hanging out with Melka Duno, and she's prettier, but
no,
clearly that's why I'm so slow. I gotta.
You're
taking
shots at Milka Duno on a modified broadcast of all.
Yeah,
places.
I think I'm safe. She's probably not going to hear this.
She's not watching
this. No, this is not a cup of tea. Let's go and talk to. It seems like it's been here, done this. As I talk to Donnie Moore, and I say, best of the rest as you finish third again ahead of everybody else except for Joshua Banks and J.R. Shepard.
Yeah, reoccurring story, huh?
Look, Donnie, I know how the grid works. You will be ahead of them next race. Is it just that you cannot keep them behind you? Just hug that inside line, baby.
You know what? Next week I'm going to be in the Caribbean, so I could care less about it. And yeah. Actually, I'm going on a cruise, and if anybody else is ever thinking about a cruise, boy, it's a great vacation, and definitely call the cruise shop for that to help you with that. But boy, we're going on a cruise next week. I won't be here, and we've been on a few, and I'll tell you, look into it if you've never been into one.
Okay, we're going to get away from racing. We're going to go right to the cruise question, because Sean and I were talking about this off camera with John Hine before we went live. Of course, he's associated with the cruise shop. We want to know: do you have the package that pays for booze, or are you going to have to pay for booze? That's what Sean and I want to know.
Yeah, I'm not much of a boozer, so no. That wouldn't work out for me.
They're losing money on Donnie. Oh no.
Oh, that's how they make their money.
I like to hang out in a casino. They're not losing money.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, well, then there's the other vice. Okay.
Quite a percentage in the cruise shop casinos. Yeah, they're not hurting there. Hey, Donnie, congratulations. I'm telling you, when we see you back, let's see if you can pick up a win before this season is over, man. It would be you deserve one.
I appreciate it, Soup. Thanks.
Not anymore. Going to be spending his time in the Caribbean. I guess if it's a toss-up between I'm holding one hand here and I'm weighing the Bootleg Racing League and the other hand weighing a cruise to the Caribbean. Yeah, you know which way my hands are going on that one.
I guess he didn't feel like taking the wheel and pedals with him.
They have internet. That's right.
They do. You could, for a small fee or a large fee, you can get internet.
Imagine the net lag's probably pretty big from the Caribbean. Okay, I think we are done with that. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. We've got to thank the people who make this possible. Before we do that, let's start with everybody at the Bootleg Racing League for organizing the Outlaw Modified Series and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. For more series information about Bootleg Racing League, you don't really have to be a brain surgeon to figure this out. Facebook.com/Bootleg Racing League or bootlegracingleague.com. It's harder to say than it is to type. Thanks to the series sponsor, The Cruise Shop. Call them at 260-755. Let me start that over because the numbers are important. 260-755-6125. Or like Sean always says, just The Cruise Shop, FW.com. That FW for Fort Wayne. On screen now are some of the equipment and software we use to stream cyberspace into your place. The original music that lets your ears alert your eyes. Hey, you're watching a GSRC production. Comes courtesy of Eric Eckham and June Lalonde. See the screen to how to contact each of them. The Bootleg Racing League returns for its penultimate round in 1 week from the Bull Ring in Vegas. More wants some gambling. We're going to Vegas. You don't have to go on a cruise. It's a rotation week. No, it's not. That's in there. That's wrong. It's just a normal event there. GSRC will be there. We hope that you join us for a regular 100-lap event. Sliding across your screen now are just some of the upcoming broadcasts, so check those out and mark them down on the calendar. I think I should read ahead in the script before I actually read what's there. Sean's typing stuff in now to confuse me. It says soup is stupid. No, it's not. If you'd like more information about GSRC, including the complete list of future broadcasts, you can find it at globalsimracingchannel.com or Twitter, GSR Channel, Facebook at Global Sim Racing Channel, and Instagram at GSRC_brand. Also, if you haven't done so yet, become a YouTube subscriber by hitting the big red button on the YouTube page. Finally, on behalf of the entire crew, Sean, Joe, and Dougie, I'd like to thank all of you for watching as Joshua Banks picks up his 4th win of the season, getting the win here at Langley. With that said, we're off to have fun storming the castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and we will see you on the track.